Have you ever heard of a creature so terrifying it gallops through the night with fire shooting from its neck? Today, we're diving deep into one of Brazil's most bone-chilling legends, the Headless Mule, or Mula sem Cabeça. This isn't just a simple ghost story. It's a tale woven into the very fabric of Brazilian history, reflecting centuries of social and religious tensions. So buckle up, because this story is a wild ride. The legend of the Headless Mule dates back to the colonial era in Brazil, a time of strict religious control and deep-seated social hierarchies. The story goes that any woman who engaged in a forbidden romance with a Catholic priest would be cursed. This curse wasn't just a mark of shame. It was a horrifying physical transformation. On the Thursday night before Friday, a dreadful metamorphosis would begin. The woman would find herself changing, her body contorting, until she became a mule. But not just any mule, a headless one. Imagine the sheer terror. Where her head should be, a blazing fire erupts, spewing flames into the dark night. Iron horseshoes are said to be supernaturally attached to her hooves, and a heavy iron bit appears in her fiery non-mouth. The transformation is complete, and the tormented creature is driven by an uncontrollable rage. She gallops wildly through the countryside from dusk until the third crow of the rooster at dawn, covering a vast territory, often spanning 7 different villages in a single night. Her hooves strike sparks against the ground, and the sound of clanking chains echoes through the fields and forests. The Headless Mule's nightly rampage is a symphony of chaos and sorrow. She is said to trample anything and anyone in her path. The sound of her desperate, mournful whinnying, a mix between a human sob and an animal's cry, is enough to freeze the blood of anyone who hears it. Witnesses have described the acrid smell of burning flesh and sulfur that hangs in the air long after she has passed. The creature is a symbol of untamed, destructive force, a being trapped between human and animal, between sin and eternal punishment. But what's the deeper meaning behind this terrifying figure? The legend is more than just a campfire story to scare children. It's a powerful social commentary from a time when the Catholic Church held immense power. The curse, specifically targeting women who had relationships with priests, served as a harsh warning. In an era where women's lives were heavily controlled, this story reinforced a patriarchal system. It placed the full blame and horrifying consequences squarely on the woman, while the priest often faced little to no public condemnation. The woman becomes the monster, her body a public spectacle of sin, while the man remains shielded by his clerical status. The Headless Mule, therefore, can be seen as a tragic figure. She is not just a monster, but a victim of a forbidden love and a repressive society. Her fiery, headless form symbolizes her loss of identity, her voice, and her humanity. The flames represent both the fires of hell and the burning passion that led to her downfall. The iron chains are the unbreakable bonds of her sin and the societal judgment she can never escape. She is doomed to repeat her penance, night after night, in a lonely, agonizing procession. Interestingly, there are tales about how to break the curse. It's said that if a brave person can confront the mule and remove the iron bit from its mouth, the curse will be lifted. Another method is to draw blood from the creature with the prick of a needle. If successful, the mule will transform back into a sobbing, remorseful woman, finally freed from her torment. These potential cures add a layer of hope to the dark legend, suggesting that redemption is possible even for those who have been condemned. The legend of the Headless Mule continues to fascinate and terrify people in Brazil and beyond. It's a story that has been passed down through generations, evolving over time but always retaining its core message about love, sin, and social control. It reminds us that behind every monster, there's often a story of human suffering and injustice. The galloping flames in the night aren't just a supernatural horror. They're the echoes of a woman's silent scream. What do you think? Is the Headless Mule a monster, a victim, or both? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, And if you enjoyed this journey into Brazilian folklore, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from around the world. See you next time.